Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Lefty. Hey, Lefty, what you say?
Bigger issues.
All right, you got your red pen?
Yep, I got my pen.
Time to get to your grades, bro. Time to get to your grades. Now, you grading on a scale this week?
Give me. Throw it out there. I'll give you my grades. I'm feeling pretty generous today.
I'm feeling generous. Let's go ahead with the quarterbacks, Tyler Buckner, Jack Cohn. What's your grade for them today?
Today, I give Jack Cohn, I give him a nice B. I think,
Really nice.
I think, with that touchdown drop, if he would have caught it, it would have been a different, change his numbers a little bit. And I think he handled the second half well, considering doing the flip-flopping he did in the first half. I think he went in there and kind of snubbed out the game for us, put us in some really good positions, and just controlling the offense. I think he's the cool head that we need in that second half as an offensive tempo. So I think he did his job. I wasn't expecting him to be 30 and 31, but for getting us through a game like this, he did exactly what I thought he would, so I give him a B.
Jack Cohn must have sent you a Starbucks gift card or something through the mail.
I think Jack's going to get us through a lot of stuff this year, so I'm glad we can start with good grades now.
All right, let's go to the running backs, Chris Tyree, Kyron Williams.
I think they're the savior today in terms of when we needed a play, we called on those two. Kyron answered on multiple explosive plays that kind of broke the game open. And Chris Tyree's a nice change-up for when we need some scat yards, get outside a couple times, start momentum for our drives going to him early. So I think, Tommy Rees relies on them heavy to get the offense going when we don't get big splash momentum plays.
Yeah.
And Kyron being versatile and getting in the empty, winning his one-on-one and pass routes, having concentration to make a tough catch with two dudes converging on you and then being able to get really good in the fourth quarter and finishing some strong runs. I got to give my running backs an A today.
Wow. Let's go to that offensive line. Much maligned early in the season.
Last week I gave him a C, I think, right?
You did.
I give him a C+ because I think that we need to hit that point marker for our own good. We didn't get that this week. I thought we would get at least 35s, maybe, but for us to get the dub, I'm always happy, but I just see so much more potential with our O-line and where we could go.
Taj Baker, that's another guy we have to give a shout out to. He competed his butt off today.
He did. Playing a first-round guy.
He competed his butt off today, and like I said, these are the type of moments and these are the type of games where a year from now, 2 years from now, when you're in a game and you're watching a dominant offensive line, point back to this part of the season where guys like Taj Baker and Carmody are getting game experience. And once Blake Fisher gets back, the depth at that offensive line is going to be very close to what you're used to at Notre Dame.
That's right. It just takes a little time, man.
All right. Wide receivers, including the tight ends. What's your grade for the pass?
I felt like we left a lot out there from a yards perspective. I think we could have did much better from an overall group. There was a lot of overthrown balls. There was some miscommunications. There was some drops. So I would give it a C for our receiver core. I think there's a lot of things we can clean up, just being in sync with each other, with the quarterbacks. But I did like some of the explosive plays that we were able to make. Avery Davis, a guy you can count on late in the game, made some good positive plays for us. So for us to be so rangy and having a guy like Kevin Austin and that can switch it up with a guy like Avery Davis and then have an outlier with a Kevin Austin and a Michael Mayer as an unmatchable type of player, it should be better than a C, but we gave a C performance.
And your grade for offensive coordinator Tommy Rees?
I give Tommy a B+, man. I really like how, like you said, he didn't give up on the run when it wasn't working early. And that's one of the biggest things as an offensive coordinator. You can't get away from your game plan, even if it doesn't work in the beginning. I think he did a great job, especially with the explosive plays and setting up those explosive plays in the second half to keep that game at bay because it could have went any way in the first half.
Yeah, let's move over to the defensive side of the ball, and let's start with the linebackers.
I think last week I gave him a C. I give him a C plus. I think they did a really good job in the run game this week. Made them kind of one dimensional. Once you get a team one dimensional, it's a lot easier to let your superstars make plays. And so for our linebackers, I like what they did in the run game. But there's still a lot of improvement when you're giving up big explosive plays. So I'll give him a C plus. Hopefully I'll give him a B next week. But that's all about that progression. We want to see get better each week.
Yeah, that linebacker position is, as I said before, when you look at this Marcus Freeman defense and you look at what it can be, and you start to look at the recruiting classes, the next 2 recruiting classes, and what they have coming in at linebacker, which is long, lanky, athletic, rangy linebackers, and you start to plug them in, hypothetically, you start to see the amount of plays that can be made.
Yeah.
Not just in the run game, but in the pass game as well, and pass coverage. So let's go ahead and go to the defensive backfield.
When you got 14 back there, you can't get anything less than a B.
Your baseline is a B every week.
Yeah, your baseline is a B. So I got to give it a B plus just because of Kyle Hamilton's ability to close the game off with a pick, put one of their best players out the game without a targeting call, and just be all over the field like he was. And it helps out those corners too, taking some of that pressure off, knowing that they can play their game, and they got Kyle as their support. So got to give him a B plus this week.
I thought DJ Brown came in and gave them some great snaps as well.
Absolutely. DJ Brown, somebody to look out for. And that goes back to Coach Kelly, getting guys in. I mean, if any year, he's getting the guys the most in this year.
All right, let's go to that front 4.
I like the front 4's effort today. I'm giving them a B plus. Big fan of Isaiah Fowski. Big fan of Tagovailoa. What he's able to do in that middle as a senior. It's setting a good precedent for if we can keep it up all season. I think next week against Wisconsin's a great test against their offensive line to see how legit we can be with that pressure and that disruptiveness that we have in that front 4. But this week is a B plus, and hopefully we get an A next week because we're gonna need it against that team.
And defensive coordinator Marcus Freeman.
Man, that's my guy, man. Obviously, shutting them behind 14 points, that's less than 2 touchdowns. You got to give them a B plus for it, considering what we gave up, the week before that and the week before that. I think each week we're getting a little better on keeping their points down, and even though we're giving up explosive plays, not allowing them to get in the end zone. So I'll give Marcus a B plus this week.